All right, I want to ask you a question. How often do you enjoy a day in downtown Little Rock? Well, the reason we bring it up, a new task force is looking to revitalize the area.
The goal, more development and better quality of life. THV 11's Journey Taylor explains the new strategies looking to bring life back to downtown.
I want Little Rock to be what it can be, not what it is.
To some people, the streets of downtown Little Rock aren't buzzing like they used to.
If you come down here on the weekend during the day hours, there's not a lot of activity.
But now there's a new mission to bring the life back. Mayor Frank Scott Jr. recently announced the Downtown Density Task Force aimed at creating opportunities for growth through development.
So you got buildings that are not full.
Little Rock City Board member Antoine Phillips will chair the operation.
Whether it's business, recreational, grocery stores, restaurants, we want us to have density where there are people downtown and there are things for people to do, whether it's work, live, or play.
It's down that way.
Absolutely. Also joining the task force, Stephanie Jackson, a longtime resident of Little Rock.
I remember growing up, I would go to the post office with my mom on Capitol. It was in the federal building, so we could get coffee, and it was just so much life as people passed through and said hello on their way to work.
She now works downtown. Her office is located on the 18th floor of the formerly named Regents building. From there, Jackson sees firsthand what she identifies as one of the biggest issues.
We can look out our windows, our office windows, and we see the sea of parking spaces that are available, empty parking spaces.
Jackson says as the city has grown in population, the downtown area hasn't evolved to meet the demands of more people, both visitors and those who live there. However, one thing has become apparent: dozens of parking lots that sit vacant most days. To some, those lots are hindering growth and development.
What you see today is not an anomaly. This is how it is every day.
We can repurpose those and bring about more growth and development downtown. So I grew up here.
Jillian Gullett is a student at the Clinton School of Public Service, and her capstone project focuses on urban planning. She's taken a closer look at the underutilized surface parking lots in our city, and she's found that the supply of parking does not meet the demand of the market. Early parking codes established over 50 years ago require businesses to provide parking, making it excessive over time.
Almost 20,000 parking spaces, so that's about 82 acres of downtown, just parking spaces alone, not even including the drive-through areas of parking lots. So it might be triple that.
The study comes after the pandemic drastically changed the way many people work. I spoke with building managers at the Regents building, Simmons Tower, and the Stevens building on Center Street. They all are well over 65% occupied, but it's smaller buildings that are unoccupied today, all required to have parking lots under city code, that those lots now sit empty. Outside the pandemic, more people have also migrated from the center of the city further west.
There are so many different office spaces out west, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need all of our communities, whether it's out west, southwest, East Village now, the central part of our city. We need all of these places thriving.
Members of the task force say now is the time to consider all voices and diverse backgrounds to ensure that we infuse life everywhere, especially in the heart of Little Rock.
It's super important that whatever the plan dictates is actually implementable and that there's a strategy to do that.
Not just planning, but also resources. Phillips says years ago he was part of a group called Think Big Little Rock. Several millennials collaborated to create a master plan to reshape the city. Now members of that group are in a position to push the city forward. And this time, they actually have money to support their ideas.
Our city board has now allocated some money through the ARPA American Rescue Plan Act to come up with a master plan for downtown.
And ideas are flowing.
When you think about the River Market Hall, I think we need to do a kind of a facelift and a remodel of that hall. I would love for it to be a venue for small businesses and restaurants.
How do we include more green space, more park-like space in some of these areas so that people can go outside and sit in nature and not have to drive too far to do it.
More importantly, members of the task force want to make sure the decisions that are made now have a lasting impact and reflect the community they serve. The makeup of the task force is young and old with different investments in the downtown area. Jackson says they all have the same goal in mind: consider all voices and leave the best legacy.
That's what we need in this community is more opportunities for the people who live here to take an active role in the success of this effort.
They hope with a new approach coupled with funding and buy-in from the community that life will return to downtown.
Downtown Little Rock is the heart of the city. And for the city of Little Rock to function the way we want it to, the way it can, for it to be the city we all think it can be, the heart has to operate and operate well.
In downtown Little Rock, Journey Taylor, THV 11 News.
All right, Journey, thank you. The task force is set to meet for the first time on February 21st. They will focus first on the current state and development of downtown. So
It's hard to look at that story and not remember as a kid. You did everything downtown. I
Yeah.
got a haircut downtown. I would go shopping for music,
Yeah.
and it was all downtown. If you see old pictures, you almost don't even recognize Little Rock. There's so many pedestrians and so much traffic.
Yeah.
And you would love to see something like that return, but you got to wonder if the remodeled Art Center might not have a big impact on what we just saw.